Hello everyone and welcome to episode 8 of the ECW Revival series here on the channel in TEW 2020 as we are post Extreme Rules and now marching towards Hardcore Evolution, which should be quite the show. It's already looking like it's going to be quite the show already, just from the kind of notes I've put together as far as building up towards that show. And let's waste no time. We have no backstage instance or anything like that. Let's just hop right into the CyberSlam show. And let's see what's popping. In the pre-show, we have Brian Cage versus Karma. So, this was SSV Cloud, who's been a subscriber for quite a while, probably since the beginning of me being on YouTube. So, probably 5 or 6 years now, he's been a subscriber, and he was just like, you better do Brian Cage versus Karma. And I just never felt like I'd do it on the main show just because Brian Cage is... Well, I'll have to look at his stats and whatnot, because, man, there's no way he should be doing a 21 in 2014. Just that really wouldn't make any sense. Just logistically, for what he was doing in 2014, that just makes no sense. We'll have to bump that up and really go into the editor and beef up his stats, because I just don't think it's at that level. But, I mean, still a fun little match. Just Karma gets the win in 8:29, beating Brian Cage. I figured give him a bone and have this be on the pre-show. I mean, 33. It could have been a lot worse. Obviously, if Brian Cage's stats weren't in the toilet, probably been even a lot better. As the next pre-show matchup, Kenda versus Phoenix. As what an awesome matchup this would have been had this taken place in like kind of the early 2010s, just because Kenda kind of slowed down a bit. It'd still be pretty awesome. I think it could still be a fun match, but just it would still kind of feel like a junior match, I think, at this time in 2014. As Kenta gets the wins, obviously, with the Kenta combo into the Psycho knee. Amanda's beating CM Punk. Kenta's really coming off of some good matches and some good ratings as far as, matches really with him and Punk. That really was all of Punk doing all the heavy lifting, but he's still doing well. He's still having the benefit from having the ground well of support, and he's got a 50, so it could have been worse. Obviously, Phoenix has a fucked up shoulder, and, still went out there, still performed pretty well. 21, it could have been a lot worse as well. Good thing this was on the pre-show again. As the actual start, obviously we have the CyberSlam intro, and then we have the recap of what happened in Extreme Rules, really the championship changings, having Brock Lesnar beating Bobby Lashley, the Dudleys becoming 9-time ECW Tag Team Champions, and also Paige becoming the first ever Women's Champion, really just recapping all of what happened as far as the major title changes and whatnot. I got a 70, so that's good shit there. We start the CyberSlam with what happened back in kind of the mid-90s ECW, where Joey Styles would start the show kind of hyping up the card and hyping up the crowd before the television taping, and then they would have an in-ring promo with somebody, and this person, this time being Brock Lesnar, is a little championship promo as Joey Styles brings out Brock Lesnar. He's got the championship belt in hand, talks about the match between him and Bobby Lashley, and Brock Lesnar just kind of shuns him away from that. He's like, that's old news. We don't need to worry about that. Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam's talking a lot of shit. He's been trying to get a match with me. I've beat him already in the past. I've beat him just recently at Reborn. If he wants to get his ass beat again, it's fair fucks to him. I'm ready to fight anybody, anytime, anywhere. I'm going to be worried about, for the next 3 weeks, all I'm going to be worried about, drinking cases of Coors Light, fucking my wife, more Coors, more wife, a little bit of back and forth, maybe even a mix between the two for the next 3 weeks. Then probably about the day of the show of Hardcore Evolution, I might get ready, might do a couple of curls, might do a couple of squats before I head to the arena. That's how much I care little about Rob Van Dam. This is all I care about, is this championship right here. More money I make, more I could benefit from my family, and more I could stay away from this shithole of a bingo hall. It's going to be better for everybody, of course. Now the crowd is starting to shit on Brock, or try to shit on Brock. Obviously, no one's really... It's probably the biggest, most dangerous man who's ever stepped foot in the ECW arena as far as legitimacy. So I don't think a lot of people are really trying to throw a lot of heaters at him. They're just like, let's make sure this crazy bastard doesn't try to jump the rail and fight us. And it's a fun little promo as he just kind of nonchalantly just cuts the interview all short. Joey Styles still trying to ask him questions. He just kind of blows him off and heads back to the backstage area. Just, yeah, I mean, Brock solidifying himself as someone who knows how talented it is, knows how dangerous it is. I mean, he just came off of, in this scenario of 2014 in the ECW Revival, he is just coming off his UFC run instead of leaving in 2012 because of diverticulitis. He doesn't get diverticulitis. He actually keeps on fighting and then finally just kind of retires and goes back to the pro wrestling world. And that just kind of arrogance, like, I can actually beat the shit out of anybody here. It's still showing that legitimacy. And, he just beat Bobby Lashley, so just take it on like somebody who's beaten before, and Rob Van Dam really is not a big threat to him as he's trying to showcase. But, Rob Van Dam obviously very talented, so he's probably should be on his P's and Q's when it comes to actually taking on Rob Van Dam. And just a little, promo for him. Oh boy, that got an 18. So, the Network Championship, it's going to be a tournament, but it's going to be a little bit of a different tournament than we just saw at the women's division. So, each of these 8 people, there's going to be 4 singles matches. Drew McIntyre, Adam Rose, CJ Parker, Prince Devitt, Chris Hero, Jack Evans, which was a bowler match, and then Tommy End and Bourne again, Evan Bourne. So those 4 are going to have singles matches, those 4 single matches there. Then at Hardcore Evolution, it's going to be a 4-way to crown the first ever network champion, and tonight we'll see Drew McIntyre versus Adam Rose. That did not go well at all. 18, that is terrible. As the match itself between Drew McIntyre and Adam Rose gets a 45 as Drew McIntyre beats Adam Rose in 9:37 with a future shock. As even though he's off his game, he still does really, really well. Yeah, Drew McIntyre, the chosen one, he is really stepping into kind of positive booking here. He's somewhat on the fence the past couple of weeks on the Cyber Slams, but now gets a nice win over Adam Rose, and will hopefully be building up into maybe even a network championship win at Hardcore Evolution. As we have a backstage promo with MVPs, most valuable players, and just kind of talking about how Extreme Rules just wasn't their night. Caval and we had Caval losing, we had Eddie Kingston and Homicide losing to the Dudleys, and then with tonight though, it's all about Colt Cabana and CM Punk, and that's what they're going for, looking to get their win over the Second City Saints and to get a future title shot again and get a rematch with the Dudley Boys. Really, even though it's Eddie Kingston and Caval in this promo, really Homicide's being involved in this promo too, but just really the focus is on those two, as they're just kind of showcasing that, listen, it might not have been our night at Extreme Rules, but we're still here, we're still some bad motherfuckers, we're going to beat the Second City Saints, and we're going to take on the Dudleys and beat them. As the match itself, as we have, obviously the Second City Saints going to win. I think that just makes a whole lot of sense because, it's fucking CM Punk and Colt Cabana. CM Punk's kind of had a bit of a shitty go of it so far, and as far as ECW goes. He won in his debut against Hero, but then losing to Kenda. He comes back here with Cabana, gets the win over Outlaw Inc, and really solidifying themselves as the number 1 contenders for the Dudleys, as Punk pins Eddie Kingston with a "Welcome to Chicago, motherfucker." As an 82 for Punk, 54 for Homicide, 48 for Eddie Kingston and Colt Cabana. As that's going to be a fun little match, Punk and Cabana against the Dudleys. I think should be pretty fun as far as that goes. Obviously, Cabana's on the same level as kind of like Devon is, which is kind of funny to say that. Obviously, I think IRL in 2014, Colt Cabana is definitely far more superior of a in-ring talent than Devon is, but they're just kind of in the mod-based stuff, pop and whatnot. Doesn't really work, but so that's 61 though. Still not a bad match at all. Not a bad match at all. So this is a video set of Tommy and Tommy Dreamer, just kind of the feud they had in the first kind of month or so of this mod, and it's set to Rooster by Alice in Chains. So it's obviously the song itself, it's about Vietnam, specifically from the words of Jerry Cantrell, of course, of Alice in Chains, to put the song lyrics together of what Nam was probably like for his dad. But it's honestly perfect to describe what Tommy Dreamer is in this mod. Obviously, taking out a lot of the stuff about Vietnam from in this music video, stopping before like the second verse where it's just talking about like walking tall, Machine Gun Man, but also cutting out from the first Army Green was no safe bet. Just this idea of Tommy Dreamer, Tommy Dreamer, the rooster, the top cock of ECW, the man who's the heart and soul of ECW. He's at the beginning of his ECW career, I felt like he had no, true, as far as making a lot of wrong decisions. He sure did, throughout the entire time. Just, he's had people turn on him throughout ECW. He's went through just hell and back as far as being a part of ECW. And now on this return, people are still trying to snuff the rooster and still trying to get at Tommy Dreamer. And just kind of the symbolism of Rooster and Tommy Dreamer. Just feel like it fits. And plus also, too, obviously, Man in the Box, Alice in Chains for his entrance music. And to have Rooster, the other side of Alice in Chains, where I just felt like it's very poetic in a way with Tommy Dreamer. And just as far as that video, just in my head, it just fits perfectly to what they went through, as far as, bullets coming from anywhere, the bullets being Tommy and the Sinister Minister. Just really symbolizing everything from early days of ECW Tommy Dreamer to then, kind of prime Tommy Dreamer in ECW now into the revival, where, just as far as taking on Tommy and caning him and whatnot, and just that whole symbolism of what he's been through at ECW just kind of summed up in this 4-minute video, taking with him and Tommy in. Just felt like it was, even though obviously the rating sucks and the ratings in the mid-30s. Just me personally, I just feel like that would have been perfect to see on ECW in this time period, and just kind of a perfect way of kind of symbolizing what Tommy Dreamer was in ECW in his time. Just felt like that was really, really cool. It's just a personal thing. But the main event is he takes on Rob Van Dam, and Rob Van Dam obviously getting ready to potentially take on Brock Lesnar, as it's not, I guess, not set in stone. But Rob Van Dam beating Tommy Dreamer with a Van Daminator in 10:18, or 10:08 rather, as Rob Van Dam with a 73, Tommy Dreamer with a 42. Obviously Van Dam doing a great job here, stood out as being a good performance for him, and a good main event to end out the show at a 60. Let's see how the rating was. Alright, 61. I was a little nervous, obviously, with the 18 from the Network Championship Tournament graphic, and then even the, I knew that Tommy Dreamer, Tommy End video was probably going to be shit, but it had to be at that spot, because it wouldn't have made sense if you, kind of flipped it to where you have the Second City Saints. I guess, really, on hindsight, that could have been the main event, and that should have probably maybe been the main event angle, but it just felt like Rob and Dreamer should have been the main. But it's still, a fun show. I really liked how it kind of, a lot of it made sense. That's a big key factor for me if things make sense. But 16 increasing of pop in the 16 regions is huge. We need that, especially we need CyberSlams to go well. And I think we're going to go into a point where most of our CyberSlams are going to start being more successful going on. Because now we've really helped build up a lot of guys, but we're still building as well. So that should be huge for us in the future. So thank you all for watching this episode. We will catch you guys next time for more ECW. Take care, everyone.